Good morning.
Good morning.
YouTube land. Hi, Rocky.
Hey, how's it going?
That's going well, thank you. It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you as well.
Hey, thank you for joining us for Sail Talk Saturday. For those of you who have joined us in the past, you know this is where we talk about all things cruise.
Yeah, everything.
What's happened in the past week, what's going on in our lives, all of that good stuff. And so we're super excited to have you join us today. We've got a full docket of news, cruise news from the past week to share with you.
There's a lot of stuff that happened last week.
There's an exciting announcement that we're going to save until the end today, so stick around for that.
Yeah.
If you have headlines or comments, we love when you drop your hellos into the chat. So please go ahead and drop those in, say hello, tell us what you're watching out there and seeing out there. We'd love to hear from you, and we love interacting with you on that chat.
Totally true.
Once we wrap up the news, as I mentioned, we'll have a big announcement this week.
Yep.
And Rocky, you are actually physically here last week.
There's no, there is still a dividing line from the window, but...
Do you see that? We intentionally were like, let's center this so visually we look good. You are joining us. You're back from Disney where you were last week.
I am, yeah. So I was at Disneyland last week. Here's the proof, in case there was any doubt. One of our followers, actually, Jim, was there. I ended up seeing him on the last ride of the day when we were getting on to the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeehaw. Lots of fun.
That's
I heard
cool.
my name being called and looked over and saw him. So it was awesome to have that meeting and connection.
Did he call you by name, or
He
did you
did.
say, this cruise life?
Well, I mean, it's kind of
That would
appropriate that was on Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, where you're riding in a boat anyway. But no, he did say Rocky, not this cruise life. But it was
Were you
awesome.
wearing your lanyard at least around the park?
No.
Okay. Wait,
What would I hang off of my
actually
lanyard?
just
That
gonna-
would just be
I'm just gonna
weird.
put mine on so it's
blends in with
on.
your shirt.
Oh, it really does. It
Yeah.
really does. Okay. Good morning.
Good
Look at-
morning,
look at who's
Waypoint
joining
Explorers.
us.
Thank you so much for popping in this morning. Got your coffee or your lunch or whatever it is that you may have based on where you're located.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Good morning, good evening,
good night.
afternoon. And if I don't see you, oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway. So that kind of kicks into the story of the day, the first story of the day. And that is, there was a really cool article that just was released from ASU, that's Arizona State University. It is where I actually got my degree.
It's in our backyard.
It isn't, well,
Not
I mean,
literally,
not really in our
but-
backyard. But yeah, so there was an article from ASU where they have a really great music and theater program. And they've sent almost a dozen of the students from that program to work on cruise ships. It's so cool.
Why didn't I go to ASU?
Well, first you have to have the talent to start. Sorry, that just happened.
Wow.
Oh,
Have a good day, everyone.
Waypoint Explorers is in Phoenix. Sorry, we forgot.
Yes, of
I
course
know,
they are.
of course, duh. Yes, and a very good morning and latte morning to you. Absolutely, that's the way to do it. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yep. Well, you can't really tell. That looks like a protein shake.
Well, okay, let's continue.
Moving right along. Yeah. So Disney has sent, or not Disney, but there is a connection there because one of the recent grads from ASU actually ended up going to join Disney, and they're going to be one of the musical directors on one of the ships. They were super excited in celebrating this new change. They were an instructor, and that's kind of one of the things that they were helping out with at ASU. They were helping to train and teach students on how to become professionals. And now they are entering the professional world on a cruise ship, and they're going to tour the world and do what they love doing, which is
My
awesome.
favorite part of this story is she thought it was fraud. She thought
She
it
did,
was
yeah.
She thought it was a scam because Disney dropped into her DMs
Right.
on Instagram.
Right,
And so she was like, this isn't actually real.
right. It turns out it was.
Turns out Disney Cruise Line might be reaching out to you on Instagram, so make sure you're checking your messages.
That's the truth right there. Awesome.
Jumping into Holland America. Holland America had some big news this week.
Yeah.
They completed the rest of the work that they were doing on converting their ships to shoreside power. So newer Holland America ships already are built with shoreside power, but the Volendam.
Yeah, Volendam.
I look
got
at
it.
Rocky to say these words,
Yep,
right?
yep.
The Volendam completed the installation of shoreside power capabilities in Vancouver this week. She plugged in for the first time ever for the full day on September 27th. What's what's really cool is Holland America actually started their shoreside power conversion program in 2006.
Oh, they were ahead of the curve.
They have been
That's
working.
awesome.
They've been working on this for some time now. Shoreside power, for those of you who might not be familiar, essentially when a ship is in dock, they can just kind of plug the ship in to the shore.
It's like an electric vehicle.
It's kind of cool, and it powers the entire ship so that it doesn't have to run the engines.
Right.
So there's less pollution. There's less noise. From an environment perspective, it's more sustainable. And so there are currently 18 ports that support shoreside power, with another 25 ports currently under construction around the world. And so shoreside power is going to be the future of how ships, while they're in port, while cruise ships while in port, are going to power all of the electronics and operations on board.
That's wonderful.
Congrats to Holland America on that sustainability milestone.
Yeah, that's great. And while we're talking about sustainability milestones, let's shift gears and talk about the city of New York, or the Port of New York.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sorry, I'm just...
You okay there?
Decorating myself.
So the Port of New York actually made a very similar announcement. They are working on updating all of their services at the Port of New York City to be able to have shoreside plug-in for the ships that dock there. Their time frame is a little bit long. They're looking at 2028 is the completion date, if I'm not mistaken. It is a pretty sizable investment that they're putting into it. They're getting a lot of different partners to come together, but they did sign an agreement with Carnival, with Norwegian, with MSC, with Cunard for the Queen Mary, or Queen Elizabeth, I think it is, that crosses the Atlantic, and a couple of other cruise lines that they've made agreements with on providing the shoreside power. So it's really exciting for such a large metropolitan area to be adding that shoreside option.
So shoreside power is, you're going to, as I mentioned, you're going to see more of it. 25 ports currently under construction, with likely more to come. Again, it makes sense.
It does. It truly does.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, well, I'm going to jump into, this is kind of a meaty update, and there's a lot of insight here. But Carnival Corporation shared their Q3 earnings call yesterday. Alarm went off at 6 o'clock here in Phoenix so that I could jump onto an EST call with the CEO, Josh Weinstein, and their CFO, David Bernstein, who shared all things Q3. And I will tell you, it was a blowout Q3, quarter three for Carnival Corporation and all of the Carnival brands. Absolutely record-breaking quarter, the most earnings the company has ever had. There's a lot of information on this screen. I promise I won't read through it all. If you want to pause it and kind of read through it. But what I would hit on is all-time high revenue of $6.9 billion for the quarter.
That's amazing.
Almost $7 billion for the quarter. Income, EBITDA, debt reduction, all of those things exceeded Carnival's own guidance and expectations. And so it was just a phenomenal quarter as they've seen occupancy rise. They've seen pricing of cruises also rise, which, I mean, we're not huge fans of, but as shareholders, we're kind of fans. Like, it's this catch-22 of like, what are you rooting for? Lower fares, better stock price? I don't know. Fuel was a hot topic. I know it has been all over social media of like those $7 gallon of gases in California and stuff like that. Fuel was a hot topic. There was an investor question about, hey, will Carnival charge a fuel surcharge? You may remember, if you've ever read a cruise contract, fun thing to do. They talk about, they have the ability to add a fuel surcharge in there to your fare. Josh responded, the CEO responded and said, there are no plans. There's nothing off the table. They're going to evaluate everything, but it's not currently planned to have a fuel surcharge. And if they did, it would be for future bookings only, and it would be temporary. Fuel surcharge is not the way that they plan to go. The plan, and they reiterated what we just talked about with Holland America, one of their brands, their plan is to use less fuel. That's how they plan to actually reduce the cost and burden of the fuel impact, is to say, how do we become more efficient?
I wonder, honestly, like what the difference in cost is between running a diesel ship, as a majority of the ships are right now, versus going to an LNG model.
significant.
So there's also that, they're newer ships. They've got the Mardi Gras Celebration coming soon, Jubilee. Those are all LNG ships.
Yep. The on the call, they also discussed Celebration Key, which I know you're going to talk about next. Yeah. But they talked about Celebration Key, and analysts asked, what kind of revenue drivers? Other cruise lines are using their private islands as revenue drivers. Looking at you, Royal Caribbean, and your adults only upcharge. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And so the analyst asked what revenue drivers, and so again they commented on, while they wouldn't release a lot of additional details, they said that'll be coming in about a month's time for Celebration Key. They did say food and beverage will continue to be a revenue driver, cabana rentals, experiences, and plus Carnival plans to charge more for itineraries. The quote was, with this exciting new destination, we believe that we'll be able to get a premium on ticket sales. And so what's interesting, two last things, there is less inventory next year than there was last year at this same time. Right. So as you think about 2024, there's less spots available on the ships, despite Carnival increasing capacity across the fleet by over 5%. And so there's less availability with increased capacity. At a cruise line that's the largest cruise line in the world, to increase by 5%, that's significant. And then to still see less capacity at higher prices. Overall, tremendous quarter. As I've come to expect with the stock market, they had a tremendous blowout quarter and the stock tanked. Yeah. I'll never understand the market. This is why I'm not a financial advisor. But I did take the opportunity to buy some more Carnival shares. Of course. I don't know why.
Because you don't have enough.
I don't have enough. So I bought some more Carnival shares at the dipped price. Analyst expectations are somewhere between $19 to $22. I've seen it kind of vary around there. So there's a good upside potential for Carnival Corporation. The last thing I will say, notably not discussed yesterday, notably missing from yesterday's announcement, was any reference or mention of Carnival Jubilee.
Yeah, you're going to be on that ship in 2 months, 3 months?
We will see. It's very odd to us that this billion-dollar investment that Carnival has made that is launching here in a couple of months, or is supposed to launch in a couple of months, they didn't even mention it. They did talk about the next ship coming to Costa, the fun Italian style, Costa Firenze, Carnival Firenze. They did mention that ship coming next May. But they didn't make any reference to the Jubilee. And so that does give me a little bit of heartburn of, are they still on track with construction? We know that they've already delayed the Jubilee once. And so December 23rd is right now when the inaugural is. I don't want to speculate, but I am a little bit nervous that they didn't even reference the ship or mention it.
Yeah, it's really strange that they didn't talk about it. You would think that would be a pretty big deal for a cruise line with the new ship coming out.
$1 billion ship. And LNG, they could have talked about it when they talked about Celebration Key, because it's going to support 2 XL class ships. Oh, including Carnival Jubilee. They could have talked about it when they were talking about shoreside power and fuel consumption. Carnival Jubilee. There were so many opportunities to talk about that ship, and they just didn't.
Right. Well, I guess we'll continue on with our theme of talking Carnival Corporation and move on to the Celebration Key. We had a big announcement this week that came out from Carnival Cruise Lines on, I don't know, was it Wednesday? It was Thursday. We recorded a video and uploaded it and talked about this beautiful new private destination that Carnival is putting up. Really awesome looking. You can see on the screen here, I'll leave up on the screen for just an extra minute here. There's that clear blue water lagoon sitting there in the middle of the photo, or the rendering.
Teal color.
Yeah, and that's going to be the largest lagoon in the Caribbean, and there's a bunch of different activities that are going to take place around that lagoon. So really excited, looking forward to that. Now, the catch is you don't get to visit there until July of 2025. So we've still got a year and a half to wait before the first cruise ships will make calls there. But the cool thing is they did talk about this on the quarterly earnings call yesterday. They're planning on 18 ships making stops here once it's fully finished and open.
You can already book 400 different itineraries to go to Celebration Key.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I looked at some of those itineraries and they're pretty cool. I mean, It's exactly what you would expect, where they're going to stop in at Celebration Key either on day 2 of the cruise or on the final day of the cruise before you return back to the home port. Of
It's
course,
so close.
yeah, and of course that's going to be if you're sailing out of Port Canaveral, Miami, or Fort Lauderdale. But yeah, so there's some pretty cool announcements going on there with Celebration Key, and we're really excited to check it out.
And we should have more information within a month's time in terms of amenities and some of the features that are going to be there.
Yep.
You can see in the renderings, it looks like there are some water slides or kind of that sand castle tower. And so super exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Speaking of exciting things and very unique things, Azamara Cruise Line. It's more of a specialty cruise line, but they just launched their world cruise booking in 2026. So if you have some time in 2026, January 6th of 2026, they launched. It is a 155 night voyage.
That sounds amazing.
I think it sounds amazing. Some people would shudder at the thought of being on a ship for 155 nights. Not me. I would be very happy to go. It visits once in a lifetime spots, including the 7 wonders of the world, which I guess I didn't know what the 7 wonders of the world
I think they keep expanding how many wonders there are.
Maybe it visits Chichen Itza.
Oh, Chichen Itza.
Thank you. In Mexico, Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, Taj Mahal in India, Machu Picchu in Peru, the Colosseum in Rome, the Great Wall of China. I mean, we're talking about some epic selfies.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an Instagrammable
this would
experience.
Be an Instagrammable trip. What I really liked about this itinerary is that there were 55, almost 60 late night or overnight stops.
That's fun.
So that you can actually spend time, and 60 extended days in these destinations. So it's not just a hop in, hop out, but you actually get to spend time in these, like, once in a lifetime. Like, when am I ever going to get to see the Taj Mahal? I really want to go to the Taj Mahal now. The pricing is not yet set.
Oh, I was going to ask, how much is it going to cost?
It's not yet set. So I did some sleuthing on their website, and so I found a 25-day cruise.
Okay.
That was
close.
That was the closest I could find to the 155-day cruise. The 25-day cruise started at just under $7,000 per person, and so.
Have fun with that.
So that was a 25-day cruise at $7,000. So I don't know what the 155-day cruise will cost, but I would imagine we should start saving those pennies.
I think so.
Pennies now.
Yeah. Ooh, my goodness.
But cool.
Yeah, very cool. Jay, hey, thank you so much for popping in. It was great to meet you last weekend at Disneyland. It was a very quick hey. But yeah. Definitely having a couple of Excel class ships docked at Celebration Key, it would be a little bit busy. That's the tune of 10,000 passengers plus. So definitely some interesting visits there. And before we move on to our next story,
I'm so jealous,
Brandy.
I'm so jealous.
Oh,
the Celebration
Miami,
tomorrow.
You're getting on Celebration. I'm so excited for you.
Oh.
You are starting your vlog journey, which is also super exciting, if I remember correctly. You are going to have an absolute amazing time on board the Celebration. You're sailing away on a Sunday, so that means you're doing a 6-day itinerary, I think.
I love that Carnival Cruise Lines here just calculates. I think that's a 6-day itinerary.
It could be a 7.
It could be a 7. Yeah. Celebration usually does. Well, I mean,
she does alternate the 6 and 8s, and then she does some 7s, and then she does 6 and 8s, and then some 7s. It's kind of fun.
We are here for all of the photos and videos that you are going to share, Brandy. It is just, we love that ship.
Yes. Yeah. You are going to have an amazing time.
Color My World.
Yes.
Only one of 2 ships in the entire fleet that has Color My World. You can't miss it.
She's doing a 7-day.
Awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. Have a great time. Love that for you. All right. Are we good to move on to the next story?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Let's talk about an MSC, a cruise line that we don't really give much spotlight to here on This Cruise Life.
We did last week because I finally have my status match. And so you're going to hear us talk a little bit more about MSC.
Yep,
I think.
that's very true. So MSC actually just made its first call on Boston, Massachusetts just this past week.
Of the season,
Yep, and it's the first time of the season. The last time that she was there was in 2019 before the pandemic. So it's been a while. One of the cool things about this story, and the reason that we thought it was so important to talk about it, is the MSC Meraviglia, MSC in general, sails with a lot of mixed types of passengers. It is a worldly cruise. What's that?
That's how you say that? Meraviglia?
Yeah.
Where's the G?
It's silent.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
That would be weird to pronounce. That Meraviglia.
I've always called it the Mergvalia. Sorry. She sails with a unique clientele.
Yeah, so she's got a very large, diverse population on board from across the world. That's one of the things that makes MSC so unique and so desirable to those travelers. And so making a call in Boston, they're anticipating bringing in revenues of about $1 million just on this one ship alone for that day, which is an incredible amount of money. The ship holds approximately, I can't remember if it was 4,500 or 5,500 passengers.
Calculating.
Yeah, exactly. But it definitely holds a good number of passengers. It's a pretty decent sized ship. Yeah, so definitely some great things. I would love to get out and do a New England sailing. I think that would be so much fun.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
How's your battery holding up?
My battery is doing all right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Great.
I've got an hour left.
Okay, good. So we're gonna have to move on then.
I think so.
Do you see what I have?
I do.
You see what I have?
I need to get mine.
So this week, our first ever This Cruise Life lanyard was delivered. Eli, who has joined us for our lives in the past, ordered his cruise line his lanyard to be able to represent and show off This Cruise Life in style on the next cruise. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported us on the shop, thiscruiselife.com/shop.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much, whether it's stickers or lanyards or packs. We appreciate it.
We do.
And you will see us wearing these on ships. In fact,
Yes.
we did a surprise giveaway on our last ship we were on. And so we'll probably do some more of those in the future.
No, that's cool. It's very awesome.
Awesome.
I'm trying to find the story that I'm talking about next, and I just realized that I don't have any information on my screen about it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
maybe I can help.
So we're talking about the cruise ship that saved a life.
Oh, fantastic!
This is live. That's what happens.
So this week, as we've seen in the past happen, when a ship is in distress, this week there was a yacht in distress.
Right.
The cruise ship came to its rescue. Unfortunately, someone had already passed away on board, but they were able to save at least one of the occupants on that yacht. And so, again, cruise ships saving lives. Whenever there's a ship in distress, whether it's a yacht or a raft or something like that, they've got folks on the bridge that are watching out in the water to make sure any unidentified crafts or icebergs, if you're in Alaska, I guess, and when they spot these things, or when, in this case, there's an SOS call.
Right.
There were several ships. This was the ship that was closest, and so they made it there first.
Right.
Brought the passenger on board, treated them in the medical center, and so again, our thoughts and prayers to the folks impacted in this situation.
Yeah. So as I recall, this incident took place off the coast of New Zealand.
Okay. Yep.
And so. Yeah, there was definitely some sadness there with the loss of life. But yeah, when they brought the passengers onto the ship, they immediately, the ones that survived did go to the hospital on board the ship, and they got checked out and they were transported to an actual hospital landside to get further assessed and work on their recovery.
Yep. And Fiji, P&O Pacific Explorer.
Okay.
Just sharing that a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Shall we talk about a story that we've been carrying for the past month now?
Sure.
Yeah, so we've been following this one for a month. There is an individual that was on the Carnival Conquest from Labor Day weekend. He was traveling with his twin brother and his family to celebrate the dad's 60th birthday.
And you may recall this gentleman went missing when they got back into port. He was nowhere to be found. There were mixed details. He was seen in the morning. He wasn't seen in the morning. The family wasn't like there were all sorts of weirdness to this. Well, the plot now thickens. This individual, Carnival did not find this individual go overboard, did not find this individual on any closed caption TVs around the ship. Well, this week it was released that he was on parole. And the parole board had no idea that he was traveling internationally or that he was on a cruise ship. And so
that's not
interesting. He was on parole. He threatened to murder his wife and children And so he was on parole, and the parole board didn't know until the media picked up his story. That was how they discovered that he had traveled internationally and suddenly went missing. And
so this tells me that he did not have an ankle monitor on.
Probably not. Probably not.
Because that would kind of alert people. I just think it's interesting that he was able to get through security and all the screenings to get onto the ship from the home port.
It's weird. I don't know how that all happened. In fact, I don't know what has actually happened in this case. We're not going to speculate. Of course, it is a developing story, and he will likely make another appearance on Sail Talk Saturday in the future. So stay tuned.
Well, let's brighten up this conversation. I think that sounds like a good idea. Toys R Us is coming back. What?
Okay, so Toys R Us is coming back. Great. So there's a store down the street in the mall.
Yeah, no, they're not even doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, Toys R Us has made an announcement that they are relaunching some of their products, and they're going to be coming to a cruise line. Now, they haven't released any of the details yet. We don't know what cruise line they're coming to, but they're going to be creating some cruise curated products and merchandise that they can sell. We don't know if it's going to be an actual Toys R Us store by the namesake on board the ship that they choose. They haven't, like I said, they haven't really said a lot of detail about that just yet. They are going to also be putting in a Toys R Us store inside airports, starting with Dallas, Fort Worth.
How interesting. Toys R Us is coming to airports and cruise ships.
Yeah. They're tapping into that travel sector, I guess. It's aggressive.
I'm curious. Will Jeffrey be will he be wearing a sailor's hat?
That would be cute.
Or a captain's hat? Captain's hat? Sailor's hat?
Sure.
Okay. We will keep you posted so that you too can be a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah. Oh, these are some funny stories.
We got a couple more to go.
Yeah.
This one is actually really exciting.
It is.
So we've talked. I'd like to solve the puzzle. I love that caption. So we talked a couple weeks ago. Carnival is rolling out Family Feud Live. They've had such tremendous success with Family Feud Live. They're rolling it out to a dozen more ships. Well, not to be outdone, Norwegian Cruise Line this week said, "Hey, we're rolling out Wheel of Fortune to 16 of our I think it's 16 of their ships." Right. So Friday, September 29th, so yesterday, they just made this announcement. It's an interactive game. They're rolling it out by spring of 2024. It's coming to, who's it coming to first? Norwegian Escape first. No, Norwegian Escape first. Yeah. So similar to Family Feud, it will take place in the main theater. The cool thing is you'll be able to interact with the game on your mobile device in the theater.
That's fun.
You can win a chance to get up on stage and actually spin the virtual wheel that's on the big screen.
Yeah.
And you can win prizes, including a free cruise.
Hey,
I'm assuming on Norwegian Cruise Line.
Yes, I would assume
that would be weird if they gave it a different cruise line.
Yeah.
Wheel launches, as I mentioned, on the Norwegian Escape first before moving to the rest of the fleet. And so we're excited. I think that would be fun to play. I'm not really good at Wheel of Fortune, honestly.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me, actually.
Why do you say that?
Your spelling is sometimes questionable.
My spelling is questioned. In fact, I'd like to buy an N for this next puzzle.
Well, just real quick before we get that N for the next puzzle, because there's something I wanted to point out.
Wait, I don't buy an N, do I?
No, you buy a vowel.
I ask for an N.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that they are putting this on these ships because if you recall, Norwegian just removed a bunch of Broadway style shows from their ships.
Yeah.
And so this is really what's taking the place of those shows. So they are saving some money from the Broadway rights and the being able to play those shows. But they're still paying some money into the owners of Wheel of Fortune. So it's kind of an interesting handoff.
Sony Pictures Television, Time Play Inc. is the company that brings it to life.
That's right. Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. They've removed a bunch of those really high cost productions, and they have to replace those with something. And so this is the first of what I would expect to see several updates in terms of their entertainment offerings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
hey, Tom.
Hi, Mark.
Tom. Oh, yeah. He just bought some lanyards. We're excited. Did you get the notification? We got the notification.
Oh, cool.
Thank you so much, Tom. We're excited to be represented on the Venezia yet again.
Oh my gosh, speaking of Venezia, well, I won't
We'll
give
get
that.
there.
Yeah,
We
we'll
got-
get there. We'll get there.
We got some stories still.
That's so much stuff to go.
I know. All
now,
right.
can I ask for, we'll pull it up, and so then I can say, Rocky, I'd like to ask for an N?
Yes. Yeah. There are definitely some N's missing. TV station saves honeymoon. Oh,
I'd like to solve the puzzle. TV station saves honeymoon. I win a free NCL cruise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So there was a couple that were apparently they live in Florida, which I think is kind of funny for the story. But they were gonna go on their honeymoon on Carnival. They had booked this cruise pre-pandemic. It was going to be a sailing that was going to take place in 2020. They were really excited for the sailing. It was going to be on the Carnival Freedom, and then the pandemic happened. You know, we all went through it. We had a bunch of credits. The credits got shifted forward to a different sailing. You had different options depending on what you booked, when you booked it, when you wanted to sail. There were so many things going on. And so they finally found a sailing that they wanted to do. It was in December of 2023 on board the Carnival Freedom. And they made the booking, everything was good. And then they went to check in on their sailing. Actually, I think they got notice. They got notice that they needed to make final payment. Yep. And it turns out that their credits were not there. And so they had reached out to Carnival, and Carnival said, one of the representatives said, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
The credits had expired.
So another person said you had to use it by the end of September to sail.
Yep.
And then they ended up getting into a news story. They got a TV station, and the station actually reached out to Carnival and got everything situated. They're now happily going on their honeymoon cruise in December.
Yeah. Moral of the story is you got, I mean, yes, I'm glad that nine on your side, I think it was called. Yeah. I'm glad that they were able to get those credits restored, but it is so important to take a look at those expiration dates, and make sure that you know exactly what all of the fine print is. Royal Caribbean's canceled a bunch of cruises of late. Yeah. They're giving 1 year to rebook, and I promise you, once that year is up, they're not going to honor those, and you don't really want to have to go to a news station to try to fight a cruise line.
No. The news station even brought in the Better Business Bureau, which that's quite the escalation. I feel. Yep. Brandy made a quick comment. I just want to pull it up. She said she's doing her first solo cruise on the Celebration. Her roommate couldn't make it. Brandy, reach out.
Can I look at flights?
Seriously.
Can I get to Miami? Like, could I get
to? Oh, it's going to be a premium.
No, and I wouldn't be on the manifest. So the manifest just closed.
It's already closed.
Dang it.
Any advice? Yes, you bought a gimbal for the vlog. Yeah,
I have advice.
Yeah,
I've done solo before.
Yep.
I'm actually looking at a solo sailing next month. In fact, we're going to be looking at that today. Maybe booking it. We'll see what we can do from a pricing perspective. Here's what I would say from a solo perspective is talk to folks.
Yeah.
Take that opportunity to talk to folks, get to meet folks. If you have the opportunity and you're open to it, sit at a table or request a table from the maitre d' with other solo sailors, because there likely are other solo sailors on the cruise. If you want to, on one of my solo sailings, I did a private table, and I just read. I worked on some cruise stuff throughout the week, and that was fine. I joined some friends that I met. Actually, some of my best friends I got to meet on the Carnival Panorama. They actually lived in Arizona, and we've hung out many times since. We've cruised many times since.
They joined for my birthday.
They joined for your birthday, yeah. And so solo cruises can be really fun. Now, I had a buddy that was on the Panorama. Remember last weekend I was trying, or was it 2 weekends ago, I was trying to get on the Panorama because his friend had just canceled. And he hated it. He said he would never go on another solo sailing again. I was like, well, why? He's like, well, I just didn't really talk to anyone. Well, and I was like,
yeah, I think it's what you make of it, honestly. Yeah. There's events, go to trivia. You'll meet some people at the trivias on board.
Join a trivia team. Join a scavenger hunt team.
Yeah. I was going to say scavenger hunt. Brandy, go do the scavenger hunt. If you reach out to us, we may be able to help.
We're not game show cheating.
No. Anyway, no, you're gonna have a great time. You are going to find ways to make it the best.
Pretty social.
Yeah,
I'm not
you're not gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a
blast.
If
all else fails, have a couple of drinks. If you're feeling shy, have a couple of drinks, and you'll be conga lining before you know it.
That's true. Just make sure you're up on the Lido if you're gonna try to conga line, because if you're doing it by yourself down on the promenade levels, you're probably going to get looked at.
Hey, on Celebration, remember to check out the fun times for what is that thing called in the Latitudes area where it does the show every night?
Oh,
the show.
Time travel.
Time travel. Watch for the time travel show. There's stuff. I think it's 7 p.m. It was 7 when we traveled, 6 or 7. There's some cool stuff that they do on the LED screens on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
That was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
The Emerald's beignets are always tasty. It is a little bit of an upcharge. And then Golden Jubilee.
Golden Jubilee. You can make your way over to Shack's Big Chicken and get yourself some of those delicious fries, whether you want to do it for breakfast and have the fries on the side, or one of their lunch, the sandwiches, chicken sandwiches. Those are good.
One of my favorite spots, Brandy, on this ship is the pizzeria, because they've introduced several new slices or several new types of pizzas, a first for Carnival.
Yes.
And they
didn't do it on Mardi Gras?
Oh. No.
Hi.
Miami Slice is only on Carnival Celebration. And so you've got a couple of new pizza options, and we loved those. We loved the sandwich place. Oh,
okay.
Good. Okay, perfect.
Well, then you're going to want to make sure that you go to, oh my gosh.
Chebang?
Chebang. Like, why did I just blank on the name of our favorite restaurant? Chebang, $8 a day, or $8 a meal for dinner.
Hey, it's complimentary the first meal.
Yeah. Oh.
$8 after that.
Oh, I don't know why I forgot that.
Yes. That's okay.
Okay, we're making this into a celebration talk, and we need to move on to our next story before we come to Raymond. Can we do that? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, did we get another?
I don't know.
We did.
Oh, another
okay.
order.
All right. I'm putting Raymond on the screen.
This is great.
Raymond.
This is an amazing day.
There it is. Thank you, Raymond. That is so exciting.
That is awesome. We are going to have this cruise life everywhere out there. People are going to be like, who's this cruise life? Who's this?
I mean, if they're not a part of our channel, then they're missing out, right?
Hey, we are almost to our goal of 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in, who has watched, who has clicked that subscribe button. Literally, I think we're going to get there. I know we're going to get there. I know we're going to get there. We had a goal by the end of the year to get to 2,000. It is September 30th, and we're at 19 something. So thank you for everyone who's subscribed and clicked liked and watched videos and click those playlists and watch those. They make a huge difference.
They really do. Thank you so much. Are we ready for our next one? Let's talk about Cheers.
Let's talk about Cheers, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Cheers. Oh gosh. So let's
pull that up on the screen here. Okay.
Hey, John Heald. John Heald got a question this week, and essentially it was, John, when are they going to lift the the 15 drink alcoholic drink limit that Cheers has instituted? And so he asked his followers, and this post went viral. As when I tweeted it, it already had 6,000 people interacting with the post, and it's had a whole bunch more since. Essentially, they asked, when are you going to lift that 15 alcoholic drink limit? And so John answered, he asked,
yes, that's right.
Hey followers, what do you think? Is 15 drinks per day, every day, enough alcohol?
I need to drink some water after thinking about this question.
I will tell you, the vast majority of folks that commented on John's post said yes, 15 is plenty.
Yeah.
I retweeted it, and a lot of our followers, I mean, we had a bunch of interactions as well, and some folks said, if you're drinking 15 drinks a day for 7 days in a row, you shouldn't be going to the bar. You should be going to get help. So that made me giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, we have had the Cheers program a bunch, actually, on Carnival Cruise Lines. We enjoy it. We've hit that 15 drink limit maybe 3 times across all of the sailings, across all of the weeks that we've had Cheers. We have not hit that, and those were sea days when we started, and we had a mimosa or 2 with breakfast, and you
got to plan it. You can't like go through the morning and not have any, and then all of a sudden in the evening you're like, okay, let's do this. You are going to hate life.
That comment from Raymond is so true. It's stressful.
And the next day is not fun.
It's stressful to get to 15. You're like, oh gosh, I've got 4 more to go, and I don't want anything more to drink. And it's stressful.
It is.
And then the next day or the same day.
Or the same day, depending. Not pretty.
So we're with you, John. We think 15 is probably sufficient. Carnival's brands, they have the 15 drink limit. Many of the Carnival brands have the 15 drink limit. Now there are other lines that don't have the limit, and that's a reality. But I think 105 drinks on a week-long cruise, is probably sufficient.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Agreed.
Ooh.
Waypoint Explorer said exactly first sea day, no problem. Then it's 5 or so for the rest of the way. Yeah, that's about average for us as well. I would agree.
Not only that, but when we're in port, we if you've watched any of our port videos, we sometimes find places to drink in port. And so the last thing we want to do after being in the sun all day and drinking all day is get back on the ship and say, we got 15 drinks to go. So cheers. If it's included in the rate, or if it's a little bit more in the rate, then we'll do it. But otherwise, it's just, now we do love the coffees. I do love Java Blue and the iced coffees and all of those sorts of things, and the milkshakes and the spiked milkshakes and all of those sorts of things. But generally, cheers isn't worth it for us.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on.
Gosh, I'm so excited.
I know. It's
lanyards and stickers. Oh my.
Right. All right, let's talk about weather. That's one of the things that you get to hear from me. I always give you a little bit of weather update of what's going on before we get to our final story.
Coming to you live from the This Cruise Live Meteorology Center.
That is right. We are looking at Tropical Storm Felipe. We are in the P's now with tropical storms in the Atlantic. Felipe is looking to head a little bit west before heading due north. It looks like, I know the Campbells, you are getting ready to go on to the Carnival Legend next weekend, heading out to Bermuda. It looks like Felipe is going to be missing Bermuda by the late part of this next week. So you look like you're going to be in some good places there.
That's really good. That's great news.
It is. And then we also have Tropical Storm Rena. Rena is probably going to get a little bit of sway from Felipe. So Rena is also heading in the same direction, but because Felipe is heading that strong trajectory going north, past Bermuda, I think Rena is going to follow in Felipe's footsteps. We're going to keep an eye on this for you and make sure that we don't have any more issues with these tropical storms as they continue to develop in the Atlantic Ocean. Things should be getting a little bit better from a personal perspective, getting to sail in the Atlantic right now, as the waters of the temperature of the water should be cooling down, which is not conducive to hurricanes and tropical storms.
Oh, good. That is good.
There you go. Mark's looking at the sailing right now.
Wait, is it a 6 day?
It's a six day. Yep, there it is.
October 8th to the 14th. Oh my gosh, let's see. Is there actually a room
He's looking
available?
at booking it right now.
No rooms of. Dang it.
I'll take a look at my portal and see if there's anything different.
Sorry. Coming back to you live. This is live YouTube.
Sure.
Or if you're listening to our newest podcast, I don't know really how the podcast thing works. Rocky converted these to a podcast now. And so if you're listening on a podcast, that's cool too. We love driving with you in your morning commute.
Hopefully it's a long enough commute to hear the whole story. Let's talk about Utopia of the Seas.
We're gonna do our announcement after Utopia of the Seas. Sorry.
That's okay. So this is actually a little bit of an old story. It came out on the 18th of September. I don't know how we missed this. We should have talked about this last week. But Utopia of the Seas has finally hit the water in a good way. So she was actually in her dry dock getting constructed in Marseille, France, if I remember correctly. And they did all of the needed work that they had to be able to get her seaworthy. And now she's transitioned into a water dock or a wet dock, where she's going to complete with her outfittings and get the rest of her items that go onto a Royal Caribbean ship. Utopia of the Seas is kind of a cool ship. So it's the 6th iteration of an Oasis class ship. We had Oasis of the Seas, Allure of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, Symphony, Wonder. We're now on Utopia. Their names are all over the place for this class. I don't really see the connection between all of them. Maybe one of you can help out. But this ship is a little different. They've taken, you remember Izumi when we were on Harmony of the Seas? Yes. So they've taken Izumi.
The hibachi.
Yep. They've taken Izumi. It's the hibachi and the sushi. They have both. Okay.
I caught the egg in my hand.
Yeah, I know what you did.
Okay.
It's not the egg. Is it the? Oh, yeah, I guess
he
it
throws
is.
the egg up.
Sometimes it's the tails of the shrimp.
Okay.
Anyway.
Izumi.
So they've taken the Izumi restaurants and they've moved them up into Central Park. And they've taken, they've taken Jamie Oliver's culinary, whatever the Italian,
yeah.
They're moving that to where Wonderland was.
What's going to be where Wonderland? Where's Wonderland going?
They're not going to have a Wonderland, but I don't know what.
Jeff, what are James and Jeff going to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure what's going to be in the place where Izumi has been sitting, because that's kind of in a weird spot. It's down on a lower deck, not too far from the casino. And so it's kind of interesting to see what's going to happen there.
Taking a picture, by the way, just so I've got this documented for Twitter.
And so that'll be interesting to see. They're also introducing a really cool concept that I'm excited about, and that is the Royal Rail Yard or Railway. So it's a dining experience. You board into a rail car, like a railroad car, and you dine while you're moving on this rail car. The car isn't actually moving, but it looks like it. You've got windows and things and stuff moving. I'm wondering if that's going to go where the Izumi was, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they've done a lot of changes to the ship from previous iterations of the Oasis class. The ship is scheduled to set sail in July of 2024. And unlike the usual brand new ship itineraries, this ship is going to be doing shorter 4- and 5-night cruises instead of 7-night cruises.
That's right.
So it'll be interesting to see how that's received. Royal Caribbean is trying something new with this new ship and trying to see how that's going to be received from the masses.
We've talked about this before. We love that Carnival with the Excel class of ships changes up things between each ship so that you've got a reason to sail Mardi Gras. You've got a reason to sail Carnival Celebration. You've got a reason to sail Carnival Jubilee. Mm-hmm. Sounds like Royal is following suit with kind of the work that they're doing with Utopia.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is cool.
That's very cool.
Yep. All right. I think we're ready for an announcement.
Okay. Are we really?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't have a headline for this.
Oh, you don't have a headline.
I don't have a headline.
I will just share the news. It is official. I have booked before you put it.
Let me pull it down. Oh gosh.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. Hi. We're back.
My ears.
Sorry.
For those on the stereo in the car. My longest sailing ever to date booked. It is official. I can officially announce it today. I am going to be sailing on the Carnival Panorama. It is it is a trans, what?
You're good.
Okay. It is a trans-Pacific sailing from Singapore. So we've talked about this before. The Panorama is going over to Singapore for a dry dock. It is time. It is time for her dry dock every 5 years. Maritime rules. She is, yay, Raymond.
Yes.
Raymond is also sailing on the Panorama. So she is going to dry dock in Singapore. There are some Carnival website issues right now. So
I'm pulling it up right now as a matter of fact.
It's not showing up on some itineraries, or the itinerary is showing up weird and wrong. But in theory, it's going to go to Ho Chi Minh, Koto Kin. This is, remember, y'all, Rocky reads these.
Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia.
Okay. In Malaysia, the Philippines, Manila.
Yes.
Guam.
Yes.
It's going to cross the international date line. It's going to go to Honolulu, that other place in
Kahului.
Kahului. I've never even heard of Kahului. I am cruising. This cruise life has really taught me a lot, as you can probably tell. A boy from a little town in Upper Michigan. I didn't get to experience a lot of these things. It is a 25-night sailing.
Yeah.
Longest sailing I will have ever done. What's going on?
I don't know. That was weird.
Okay, it's the longest sailing I have ever done, and it is on a ship. By the way, this will catapult Panorama into my most sailed Carnival ship. I know it's hard to believe that a 25-night journey will catapult her into the most sailed ship. So she will have one day more than the Carnival Splendor. Yeah, so Carnival Splendor will officially fall to second place. So I will be near platinum status on both the Panorama and the Carnival Splendor, Carnival Panorama and Carnival Splendor.
Yeah.
And so super excited. Yes, Jay, I love the Panorama as well.
She's not going to look the same. She's finally going to get her blue hole livery.
Oh gosh, I was like, what are they doing? Are they putting the Costa funnel on her?
No, that would be weird. Yeah, so I just pulled up his reservation in my portal as his travel agent, and it's not showing an itinerary right now. Earlier in the week, they were showing a different sailing date. It was going to be setting sail on October 20th instead of the 13th, I think it is now. Yeah, really strange. We will see what happens on the ship, on the sailing. Okay, the 12th of October. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I know that Carnival's been experiencing a lot of issues, so we'll see what goes on there. When is Splendor getting its next trip announcement? To our knowledge, she is staying in Australia.
No, she's got some cool sailings coming up, doesn't she? I just was looking her up because I was like, how do I get back? 2024 Carnival's next Splendor 8/5. So August of next year through 8/23, she's going to go through dry dock. So TBD on what that is. So there's some cool sailings. There's a cool sailing to dry dock, and there's a cool sailing from dry dock.
If she's going to Singapore, then it's not going to be that much of an itinerary.
It's a cool itinerary. It's a really cool itinerary. Okay. You're a travel agent now. You need to know. I can tell you how many days Brandy's going to be on the Celebration. But the cool Splendor sailing, you don't know. We'll do some research and we might book it, depending on when it is.
Right.
Wait, yeah, we could do it. It's August. That's going to be before Raymond and I are on the Panorama.
Correct.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There's a couple more comments.
There are a couple.
Through.
Let's go into our next slide first before we pull up.
Slide?
Yeah, there's just one more. There's just one more. So let's talk about next weekend, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about next week.
We're singing that a lot today. Yeah, okay. So next weekend, we are actually going to be doing a pre-recorded stream. We are actually going to be attending a campaign One at a Time is going to be having their gala event for the year.
Their annual gala for donors. Yep.
Yep. And so we will be in attendance at that gala dinner. It's going to be taking place in California. The couple that you see on the screen beside Mark and myself, Brody and Katie, they are an amazing set of individuals.
Uh-oh. I'm going to grab your charger.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to continue talking. He's grabbing my charger.
Because I know that dies right away.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Did it go off?
No, I have 6 minutes. All right. Anyway. So, yeah, we're going to be hanging out with Brody and Katie. This is their wonderful baby that they've built, and it's amazing. They do great things for families and kids that are going through some health issues, whether they are surviving from cancer, they have leukemia, or anything along those lines. It's a great cause. They are a nonprofit organization. If you'd like to check them out, I put their website on our screen right here. So you can head over to Campaign OAAT. That's campaign1atatime.org. Feel free to make a donation. They are an amazing set of people. They're amazing humans, and the cause that they support is fantastic.
So I actually got the chance to meet them on the Carnival Miracle.
Right.
So this is the beauty of this cruise life, and that's where the concept when I started this cruise life back in 2020 really came from. Is this cruise life gives us such amazing opportunities, introduces us to such amazing human beings. Brody is the CEO of the nonprofit, and he actually got involved because his next door neighbor was diagnosed with cancer, and he wanted to make a difference. And since that time, they have helped kids from around the world. They have touched lives around the world. And so we're super excited to be supporters of Campaign One at a Time, sponsors and donors of Campaign One at a Time. And we're super excited to be able to attend the gala next weekend. So Friday night, we are actually going to record all of the news for the week.
Yep.
We're going to record our silly banter, and we are going to premiere it at 10 a.m. It will still premiere. It will still go live at the same time on Saturday. So it will be Sail Talk Saturday. It'll just be a little bit different. There won't be as much probably. No, because I can still watch it on my phone while it premieres, right?
Right.
So there will be still some interaction. And so we hope to see you join us next week.
Yeah, absolutely. One quick little note that I wanted to throw in here, and we'll do a bigger celebration of this in the coming weeks, but feel free to check out, they do have another YouTube channel as part of Campaign One at a Time. It's called the Spread Good Squad.
Oh, that's right.
Where they head out into local communities, wherever. They did it while we were on the cruise, as a matter of fact, and they engage with people, and they ask individuals, how do you spread good?
Are you posting our blog? Because we did a We did. We were on their
We were.
podcast.
We were
Is that what you're
featured.
posting?
No, I was just doing a quick shout out. I mean, you can find it. The podcast is on their Spread Good Squad YouTube channel. So head over to their YouTube channel, locate the Spread Good Squad, and find the wonderful time that we had when we were talking to Brody about our sailing experience.
We got a couple more comments, and then I think we're gonna have to wrap it.
I think so.
What else came through?
So Brandy is going to have internet to vlog.
We're going to follow. We're going to watch.
We are totally going to follow and watch.
Absolutely.
And we would love to participate in that. She has said it's going to be an amazing sailing for your Panorama Trans-Pacific. That is going to be amazing.
If anyone else wants to join, let us know. I mean, there's probably still rooms available. We don't know where it's going to sail from or to, but it's going to be fun.
There may be rooms available, but you can't book it right now.
That's true. That's true.
She said had fun in Cali next weekend. Yep. And then Jay said hopefully at some point we can plan a This Cruise Life meetup cruise. That is definitely something we have talked about.
Literally talked about doing it.
We kind of did a little bit of that on my birthday, kind of not. I mean, it wasn't intentional to get other people as much. But yeah, we definitely.
What do you mean it wasn't intentional? We had 13 people at dinner every night. It was pretty intentional.
Those were like our really close friends.
But like inviting a group cruise, we've talked about maybe doing something like that in 2024. Picking a cool itinerary, planning out, giving a good amount of notice. I think that would be a ton of fun.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
We could all wear our lanyards.
We would be like little groupies.
We'd be That's fantastic. And you could book them all.
I could.
You've got your certification on all the lines. That's cool.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Awesome.
So just you may have noticed we've changed the layout of our screen. We've added what the next sailing that we officially have in the books is. And that is 49 days. Yeah, it's next to you there. 49 days. We will be getting on to the Valiant Lady from Virgin Voyages. We're super stoked about that new experience. We've been looking at that for a while, so stay tuned for some content coming out.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting out a bunch of shorts. We're gonna talk about the restaurant venues on board. We're going and then don't you worry. So that's leading up to it. And then when we are on that ship, you're going to see pictures. Some of you may like this. Some of you may be like, oh, we don't care. You're going to see pictures of every food place we eat, every bite that we take. You're going to see photos of the venues, the brunch. There's a bottomless drinks brunch on board. I am so excited for that.
That's gonna be fun.
Nightlife.
There's just a lot going on.
So much cool stuff.
And then coming up tomorrow or Monday, which day are we doing it?
I think we said tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We've got a new video coming out tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. We'll do a premiere launch. I think those are kind of fun because we can have some good interactions. But the premiere launch of the Carnival Venezia, the full experience coming from this guy.
So you're gonna have to. You're just getting me because Rocky was on that ship. So you're gonna get me talking about what I loved, what I didn't love, and what I hated about the Carnival Venezia. And so I am super excited to share my full review, my full thoughts. Finally, it's taken a little bit of time. I said when I said in the shorts leading up to it, we are going to have so much content. We're going to be publishing Venezia content for the next year. That is not a lie. I mean, there is still more content that we have that we haven't published. So super excited though tomorrow to share my thoughts on that. I won't give it away.
No,
tune in, find out what I think about Carnival Venezia. Though I think if you followed the channel, you probably already know what I think. So. It was a great ship. Anyway,
Brandy says, thank you for everything. Well, thank you, Brandy, for tuning in. We love having you. We love having everyone that tunes in.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And safe voyage. So excited.
Yeah. Waypoint Valiant Lady is amazing. You'll love her.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited. We try to get on a new brand or new line every year. So if I do book the NCL voyage next month, that would actually be two new. That'd be two new.
But that would be you by yourself.
I can't join you for that. Me by myself. It would be a solo sailing. I don't know how I feel about a solo sailing for 10 days. That makes me a little nervous. But it's such a cool itinerary, and it's such a anyway.
We'll let you know.
If anyone wants to go to Alaska for 10 days at the end of October, let me know.
That's true.
We'd have to change the have to change the countdown timer.
That's doable.
And if you're listening to the audio of this recording, it's a timer that's on the screen that shows our countdown.
Thank you for that. All right, I think we've gotten far enough. We're an hour in. We've done well. Thank you so much for joining our live Sail Talk Saturday event today.
And thank you for so much interaction. We love, this is the most fun that we have all week. And so thank you for the interaction. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for sharing your upcoming bookings. Yep. Thanks for ordering lanyards and stickers. Oh my, that's amazing. We love you guys so much, and gals and everyone.
Yes. And if you haven't done it already, we please ask that you like this video.
That's right, because it ups it in the algorithm.
We're pretty sure you've probably subscribed by this point, but if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. In fact, why don't you smash it for us?
Smash that notification bell, as we always like to say. Oh, it has been a true pleasure, and we'll be coming to you next week with more cruise news and cruise stories right in your inbox on YouTube.
Cool. All right, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.